What's up, guys? Martin here from Talking Town. So, I've just received something in the post from somebody, and I want to say a quick thank you, I guess. You said in your note to his biggest fan, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of his, but hey, thank you ever so much for sending it our way. What is it I hear you say? I mean, I'm not against keeping him, you know. There you go. I mean, I wasn't quite sure what to say in the video or say right now, but there it is. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Matt, I'll bring you in instantly because I need an instant reaction to this. I mean,
that's ruined one of my gags. I was going to have that behind me.
I don't know what to say.
I mean,
there he is.
Someone spent £2.50 on you. It was originally.
I'm worth it. It's up there. Let's run with it. Welcome in, Matt. I'm glad you could join us. All of the guys are firing off in the chat, so get yourself busy. As always, at full time, you can come on the show. The Cruncher said it makes a perfect dartboard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, transitional year. Leighton Durrant, good afternoon, guys. I thought the season couldn't get much worse. Then I saw Judge in the starting 11.
Yeah.
Leando, they could have framed it. That would have cost more than the poster was worth. Looking fresh, Matt. Have you had a haircut?
Yes. Yeah. I was supposed to have one before the lockdown. They got cancelled. So that's why I was looking a bit longer there. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel good.
Okay, right. Well, we are joined today by a new contributor to the show.
Yeah.
He has been on the full-time show as a fan, and here he is making the transition over behind the curtain. It is, of course, Ben. Welcome in, Ben. How you doing? Oh, we can't hear you, Ben.
Oh.
We can't hear you, Ben.
You got no sound, bud. What's going on?
You got no sound. You got no fans either. Ben, sort your audio out. Hawks, afternoon. Jordan, I hope you're recovering really well.
Yeah.
Sending our best wishes to you. Benjamin, I've seen the start of that poster. He's not the only Lambert I want out. I couldn't find any blue tag to stick it up. Simon Harris, interesting stat. 21 shots on target in the league this season. Relegation stats. So let's go, shall we? Let's get into the team while Ben sorts his intro out.
Yeah.
It's an interesting team, Matt. Or is it an interesting team? You tell me.
I don't know. Well, we now know that McGavin was poorly, wasn't he? He was ill in the week.
Day before the game.
Why the club didn't actually say that, I don't know, in the lead up. Once the team's been announced, McGavin's not there. Because then everyone's sort of saying, oh, why is he being dropped? Is he not being included? So why they didn't actually just put that message out in the week that he was poorly, I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, Judge is back, isn't he? So he set out for some of the game, didn't he, on Tuesday night and came on.
He did.
He's back. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to find some optimism out of all of this. You know
well, not really. Let's break down who's not there and why. So we've got Drinan, who's now injured, is what I'm led to believe.
Really?
So he's not there. That's what I'm led to believe. So that's why he's not on the bench. Then you've got Jackson now starting up the front. Hawkins on the bench. Obviously, Norwood's out injured. I'm having them lining up, and hopefully Ben can hear me now. I'm having them line up like that with Judge centrally, but really in reality it could be Dobra wide, Judge wide, Lancaster central, or Dobra central. They're quite a movable three, Ben. How are you feeling seeing Alan Judge in that lineup?
Can you hear me now? You got me?
Can.
Excellent. I think, to be honest with you, from what we have left, it's probably the best lineup I can think of. It just I kind of see every week that that bench gets a little bit less strong, because our strong bench was always kind of our thing, wasn't it? Look how much depth we're having, strength we're having, depth. But I think from what we have left, and you know what? Nobody, I know nobody likes Judge, and he's a massive scapegoat, and I don't particularly like him either. But in a team where we're not performing, I only think he's marginally less, terrible than anyone else. I'd love to see Jackson get a goal today. I think he's really due one. I really want that guy to kick on. And look, Lancaster as well. I know, the thing about Lancaster, I want the guy to do well. He's starting today. He's behind a good striker. Let's see what he does. I want him to do well. Prove me wrong, man. Come on.
So hang on.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight. You're quite happy to see Lancaster in the starting 11.
To be honest, at this point, why not? What's the
Peak
alternative?
2020, that is.
Well, this is a strange year, but I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's okay, but in an okay team, that's okay enough.
You see, I am his big fan.
That's the first time I've heard being able to talk to Ben about this, because I'd seen the shows. I think what you were actually saying, Ben, was Lancaster's not particularly a standout performer compared to your Dazelles, your McGavins. You see them all as an even platform, do you?
I do, yeah. I don't. It's because my trouble with Lancaster was I didn't want him to have the weight of expectation in the same way that Dean Bowdish did, and he flew on.
Yeah.
You know, he'd gone through the ranks. He flew on because we're so starved of any kind of starlet coming through.
Yes.
It does. The amount of pressure that gets put on them. You know, get Jack starting every game. He's got to start. He's got to score goals. Good old Jack. Yeah. Jack will do it. Get Lancaster in. Don't put the pressure on the boy because Bowdish fell apart because of it. And it's even harder, I think, if you're a young prospect like Lancaster, to come into a team that's like critically underperforming under a tactically naive manager. Don't put the world of expectation on the boy. Just let him go. He's good, but he hasn't shown me anything that he's any better than good yet. Please prove me wrong, because I want the boy to do well.
I don't think you're ever going to really... It's hard as a winger because you spend majority of the game out of it. You only see the ball very rarely out wide. Obviously, someone like Andre, centrally, you see a lot of it, a lot of the ball. So you've got a lot more opportunities to make up for a bad pass or a bad shot or what have you. Whereas when you're out wide, when I was learning to be a coach, I think someone told me, when you teach your wingers, you got to teach them to be patient because a lot of the game you'll be up and down and you won't see the ball. You will not see it, and you've got to be disciplined.
That's a good point.
And obviously you've got less chance to impress. So far this year, I think he has impressed me when he's come on. He's done bits. He's got
goals, isn't it?
And he's got goals.
He turned that game round at Bristol Rovers. He did very well in that game because that looked like it was going to be a 0-0, didn't it? I think it was his cross, wasn't it, that forced the own goal. Then he put Nolan through for the second one. Yeah. So we're seeing cameos, aren't we? We're seeing nice little cameos of good play from him, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Is he Guion Edwards? No, but he's not as old as Guion Edwards, so you don't quite expect him to be that good. Just yet.
And Guion Edwards was hardly putting up trees last season either, was it?
Exactly.
He's got this wonderful thing, I think, because of his age and where he's come from. At the moment, he's kind of got the benefit of the doubt. So I think he's got a certain bank of games where he can underperform, where you think, well, okay, this is the first season he's playing regularly, and he has got a bank of games in which I think the Ipswich Town fan base would forgive that. For example, the equivalent, I would say, would be the Freddie Sears, who doesn't have that bank of games. It was kind of deliver now because you've played for long enough. So I think it's always an interesting balance. I am happy that he's starting under the circumstances. I don't think he'd be anywhere near the team if we had a fit team, but we don't have a fit team, and we're not going to for the rest of the year. So he's probably, maybe I don't know. I think he's comparable to any other striker. I think Norwood's on a slightly elevated platform than the others we have. Jackson, for me, has always been good, but not. He never fulfilled that expectation I thought he could have gone to. But we're not getting the top class players in at the moment. So
no, and Jackson's now being forced, isn't he, Ben? Jackson's now being forced to play in a formation where he didn't really. He turned heads at Accrington because he was playing with a two up top.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Right. Yeah.
And I would say the same defence of Hawkins as well. Hawkins, he seems to be everyone's kind of toilet brush player at the moment. He's getting so much flack because he's this huge gangly player that's kind of playing up front on his own when he goes on. And he's not come in for that. But when he played alongside, was it Jackson the other night?
Oxford, yeah.
Yeah, he held the ball up, laying off balls, bringing that front line up. With a partner, he's so much better, and that is what he was brought in for. So I think it's unfair to judge him on a role that he's not brought in for or particularly good at. Because do you know what? All our other strikers are not scoring either, so let's not single him out either.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to it than that, though. I mean, like Jackson, for example, there's this big thing being built up that he can't play up front on his own. I disagree. I think he can. I think his job today is quite simple. Run the channel, stretch the back two, and create space for Lancaster, Judge and Dobra. And I'm quite excited by that front three. If you take Judge out just for a second, Dobra's got pace. Lancaster's got ability on the ball. Jackson's got pace. For the first time in a long time, I'm looking at that front unit and I'm thinking we could hurt a team today. We could really get at them on the front foot, use that pace.
Yeah.
And that's all Jackson's got to do is really make the two centre-halves just drop 5-10 yards further deep. And then it creates space in that midfield for Dobra. And Dobra
I think they do. I think they do a 3 at the back, Plymouth. I think they play 3-5-2.
They
yeah.
do. So really,
but then that's all the more responsibility on Nolan and McGavin. Don't forget, they're not going to do that unless they're actually looking forward. If they're going to pass it to the back four every single time they get anywhere outside the 18-yard box, then it doesn't matter how much pace you've got up front. If they're not going to receive the ball, you can have all the pace in the world. You're not going to do anything with it. So the responsibility today is not so much on the sort of the Jackson and the Dobra and Lancaster. I'd say Nolan and McGavin have a massive part to play.
Oh, always.
If they're going to exploit that. Really important today.
Always, yeah.
Well, we need to see. I mean, Judge is a conundrum, isn't he? We need to see him with some discipline. But I thought from last week, I think it was the game last week. I thought I'll have a look at his heat map, how he covers the pitch. I mean, you could not see a blade of grass that he hadn't covered. So it's just for whatever reason with Judge. I don't know why, because I was a big Judge fan. I was really pleased when he signed for us.
Don't confuse work rate with ability, though.
It's not like he's like not putting the. It's not like he's not putting the hard yards in. He's covering a lot of ground, but for whatever reason, he's not impacting enough to turn the game for us, which is what he really is, isn't he? He was kind of an impact player at Brentford.
Yeah, you see, his effort was never really a question, though. I've never really questioned Alan Judge's effort. I've always just... It's that ability, it's that final pass.
Yeah.
Like that
Coach said it anyway. Coach said it before. Is he trying too hard?
Possibly. Callie says, Ben, you can't call Paul Lambert tactically naive. He won the Champions League.
He was in a team that won the Champions League.
It's absolutely quite right. I've played at the biggest clubs in the world. I know what pressure is. And if it's any different, you're out.
Absolutely. But I do agree with you, Ben. I always say it always begins and ends with the midfield. And today is Nolan and McGavin. I'm not a Nolan fan.
No.
Brett, I am a big fan of. It is really important, Matt, about how them two play together. What are you expecting from them two then, Matt? Nolan and McGavin? What do you want to see?
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because they've not really had any game time together. Obviously they would have hopefully trained together. Who knows all the injuries they have. But I don't know. You'll probably be looking at Nolan taking the lead slightly with McGavin. I mean, what's good about McGavin, he can actually take a set piece.
Yeah.
Which is something we've lacked seriously.
And set pieces.
Yeah. And we've not taken good corners, have we, since Waghorn left? I thought the set pieces with him, free kicks and corners were excellent. And we've really struggled. But I do see, to coin Marcus Evans, some green shoots of recovery on our set pieces if McGavin's over it. But I don't know, Nolan's a funny one, isn't he? I would say they're both not particularly impact players. They're not going to... Well, Nolan might run a little bit with the ball if he's progressing a little bit further. But maybe with a 5 in midfield, they're going to have to sit back a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see how that pans out.
I think for Nolan, in a good team, I think he'd be okay. But the trouble is he's playing a team under a lot of pressure, a lot of scrutiny, a lot of criticism in a strange formation in a tough league. I just don't think I don't think he's necessarily bad. I just think he's just the wrong person for the club.
What does he do?
Maybe. Well, there's no getting away from the fact that his best role for Hurst at Shrewsbury, which is why he signed him, was that number 10. He played
one
number
season,
10
he scored 9 goals 1 year in his career.
Wow,
that's like a Dale Murphy purple patch.
We like 9 goals from midfield last season. That was
but every year apart from that, he hasn't got above, I think from memory, 5.
Right. What's he on at the moment? 3? Is he on 3 goals right now?
3 possibly.
Goals, yeah.
So we're hitting near enough the maximum he's ever done apart from that 1 year at Shrewsbury. I think he's a Luke Heim. He recycles possession, and in today's formation with players such as Lancaster, Dobra, and Jackson, that's fine. Win the ball and give it to the players that can hurt you. It's when he's paired with excuses, where you've got so many ball players who just recycle it and just go sideways and backwards. That's when it comes a bit.
Is that what McGavin's going to be playing though today to play devil's advocate? Their mind is that they're going to look at McGavin to be the recycler?
I think so. I look at John Nolan and I just think you're not really a Flair. You're not really a Downs.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're not really a hard tackler. Yes, you've been sent off, but it wasn't for a crunching tackle. Don't misunderstand what you were sent off for.
It was fairly crunching. I don't think I'd like that around me.
No, it was petulant. I just,
Yes.
I'm not sure. And at the start of the year, he was being called the Ginger Perlo, and I just was having.
By you, I think.
No, it was not by me, you cheeky sod.
Look, the start of this
really
year was
wasn't.
different for all of us. A lot's changed in
Yeah.
2020.
It has. Something that hasn't changed is injuries, but there was some good news, Matt, on one of your favourite players this week with Vincent Young returning to the to playing football on Monday. What do you think
I'm not going to
about
hold
that?
my breath because he returned in that Colchester pre-season and we didn't see him again, did he? But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Quite whereabout he is in his recovery, we're still not certain because the
Yeah.
Paul Lambert Dowrell never actually gives us any information that we could actually hold on to. We just know he's back and on the grass Monday.
We know he's
It's just
alive.
He could be giving out the pre-training oranges for all I know. But we know he's back on the grass Monday. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. I will now categorically say that my wish for him to get 10 goals in the season is probably gone. It's probably gone now.
Nah,
I don't
that's
think it's
still
a
pretty
coincidence that our fitness coach has gone back up to Scotland and Kane Vincent Young's back on the pitch. I'm just going to say that. That's a bit of a correlation.
I mean, that's very odd. That's very odd, isn't it? I mean, we
You're
might
damn
touch
right
on
it's
this in
very
the
odd,
show
because
tomorrow,
you're
but it's
two
very odd.
completely different stories. Yeah.
Yeah. How can you be a consultant on fitness if you're up in the Highlands and we're down in Suffolk? Oh, come on. You need to see that. You need to be there on the you need to be there on the grass, don't you?
Well, do you though? I mean, Jesus, what's I don't want to speculate as to the reasons why. There's obviously something going on, and if it's something serious like health or family, fair enough. Then go back up to Scotland and do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
As
But
far
they
as
should
the
be transparent on that
professional
as
side of
well.
it,
They should say that if it was, yeah. I agree.
Because first and foremost, he's one of our own. He's an Ipswich guy. If he's going through a tough time, then you support people going through a tough time. That's the
100%.
standard. From a professional
Yes.
point of view, it could be the best thing that's ever happened to us. Because I'm saying this war this year will be won and lost on injuries. And we've said it show after show after show. We don't so much need a new approach to fitness. We need to fly in a team of thoracic and orthopedic surgeons to see and try and mince our way through the no man's land of the World War I battlefield, which our training ground is.
Yeah. I took it that Jim Henry was going to just be probably processing data from afar in terms of because they wear those vests, don't they? Which gives
Was
them
it
kind
not
of the
just
fitness
a
data.
nice way of saying gardening leave?
Well, maybe. Again, we
Yeah.
don't really know because the transparency isn't there, is it?
We don't. But what we do
He's
know.
worked with Lambert for years. I thought it was unusual if they'd fallen out. But
then again, we've had so
and
many
again,
injuries. Something needed to happen. We were saying on the show last week. Something needed to happen. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's the one that I don't know. Sore feet, as I said. Did he leak the team news?
Something is really yeah. I said he leaked the team news probably. He probably phoned someone up and told him the team. But I think you had two different things. You had Lambert saying, "Well, that's it. He's gone. We're now going to have to deal with what's left," which is pretty much the story of our entire club this season. But then you've got who is it? The other side of who is it? Marcus or someone saying he's now gone up on garden leave, but he'll still be a consultant. Or was it Leo Neal? So at least if you're going to put out a story as to why, get in a room first and say, right, boys, this is what we're going to tell them. This is the reason why. That's the party line. Don't come out with two different reasons. And if it is for something personal, I wish you Godspeed. Get well, look after who you need to look after. And I hope it goes well for you this year of all years. But, professionally, our best signing in January, get a fitness team in. Get someone who's freshly qualified with the latest, straight out from a master's degree. Get someone in fresh because injuries will kill us more than what Lambert will. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Matt Stannard says, do you think those vests measure and shock? He sat at home pressing the shock button if they aren't working hard enough. But that joke aside, those vests do record data and you can obviously analyse that from home. Looking at the team, back to what we do know, back four of Chambers, Wolfenden, McGuinness and Ward. I've been critical of Wolfenden and McGuinness, Ben. I'm not sure they're a good partnership. I don't think they work well together. I think McGuinness and Ward don't work well together. Confidence level in that back four today. Looking at it,
I've been. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I have been generally more confident than not in our back four. I think. Don't forget that Wolfenden is still really young. He's getting a set of games now. He's losing that bank of games where he can be, forgiven. But he's still a young player. He's still developing, and he was out for a long time. I think you're right. Together, I don't think they're particularly great, but we don't have the luxury of options. We have who we have, and I think it's the best that we have. I'm consistently pleased this season with Chambers, and I've been his biggest playing critic, not as a club ambassador, because I think he's fantastic, but as a player, I have criticised him in the past. But I think this season, I'll come back to it. It's what you don't notice that he does, that he's not doing clangers every week, that he's not showing himself up with terrible mistakes. He's very quietly getting on with it, I think.
Chamber?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
If you ignore the back post goals you've conceded, yeah, he's getting on with it. if we ignore that, I mean, you know.
I think compared to other seasons, I think he's probably one of the few that's actually stepped up. I even think he can. Yeah. His passing's got better this season. I mean, he's pinging it from one side to the other. He always tries that, but this is the only season it seems to actually work more than 55% of the time.
Yeah, I mean,
scored a worldie as well at Blackpool. Scored a worldie.
Yeah. Oh, great goal, wasn't it? But look at Jamie Carragher, right? I mean, obviously Jamie Carragher was miles better than Luke Chambers, but when he played centre half, he was always not quite a Sammy Hippier. But when he played right back, he played fairly well. I think Chambers is the same. He's a right back. He's an old-fashioned 90s right back.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Cameron Young is a modern-day fullback.
Yeah.
Whereas when you play him centrally, there's more going on, and he can't quite read it, I don't think. So he gets caught in the wrong position or lapses the concentration.
That's a good point from Saw 4 on the screen there, Martin. If you can bring that one up. Shane Bowesby, we said this on the other week on the Sunday show. You would not have known he was on the pitch. Normally he's very vocal character, as Ben is saying. But yeah, that's an interesting point there from Malcolm. Yeah, I would agree with that, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Callie, Ben, that's because Chambers is not playing in front of goal. He moved out of danger but still made fair mistakes. Benjamin, again, I've said it before, but Cornell has been fantastic so far this season. He's the only
good Tuesday. Take well Tuesday.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter. Somebody said, what has Holy done wrong? I mean, what has Holy done right to keep the shirt? Like, you know, have the shirt, win the shirt, but you've got to keep it and have merit.
Yeah, well, yes and no. He's not actually. I'm trying to think. The only clanger he made was at Doncaster, wasn't it? When he passed there for the third or the full goal thing. He's not really made any massive clangers, has he? I don't think.
Has he saved your team? Has he won your points?
Well, I think the only standout game he probably had was the Crew game. Maybe the 1-0 where he nicked it. Yeah, he played really well. Now I think we gave him man of the match in that.
Whereas midweek, I say the post, but many people say he saved it. You could argue Cornell saved you that point. So he's already won you 1 point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when we had Bart here, we were so successful because he would win us 10 to 15 points a year. Now, he's not Bart. I'm not going to pretend he's not Bart. That's the next poster going up, by the way. But so if you want to send me that one,
whenever we talk keepers,
you know who you are. You can do. But
devil.
Don't.
It's not the devil on your shoulder. What we're saying before the sound, I was saying, but burn it, because it's with fire. God,
I still don't have it up for at least one show. Let's see how long it lasts up.
I'm triggered.
The dog didn't like it. The dog was literally barking all morning at it.
I bet it was. It knows evil.
Simo, welcome in, Simo. I like Chambers, but is he part of the problem? I'd be thinking of moving on if I was a new manager.
We have approached that subject in the summer, didn't we? We said that. You know, you could, being really harsh, which I was at the time, you could blame him and Skews, the more senior pros, when we find out from Bierkowski that a lot of people had switched off in October. You know, he was the club captain. Maybe he should have been a little bit stronger there. But we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We can only presume.
Yeah.
But...
And look, manager after manager after manager, he still stays as captain.
He does.
Role. So there's something... He must be so good behind the scenes that they can't possibly drop him, and does just enough on the pitch to justify a starting thing. But this is not just Lambert picking him. This is all the managers are picking him every single rotation. I think with Cornell, I think he's looking good because he's playing in a system where he's good with his feet. He's shorter. He's good with his feet. He's a better distributor of the ball, whereas Holy isn't. So any other formation or way of play than the one we are currently utilising, I think Holy would look better, but Cornell suits the system better. That doesn't mean to say he's a better keeper.
Yeah,
absolutely. The Northampton fan, Matt, wasn't overly impressed.
Well, and as I've said on the summer shows, people I know watch a lot of League One, League Two football. When we actually signed Holy, they sent me a text going, "Why have you signed him? He's dreadful." So I think in the lower tiers of football, maybe he didn't have the best rep when he came to us.
Cruncher, we have bang average goalkeepers, but then that goes with the bang average squad that we've got.
Johnny
Duncan, maybe it's what needs changing, but he has massive respect from the youngsters. Talking of youngsters, people have been calling for him for months. Second start in a week. Dobra, what do you want to see from him today? I do want to start seeing this player that people have been telling me we've got. I didn't quite see it Tuesday. Another chance to impress.
But you're not going to see it Tuesday, because you can't go from not being able to even turn up at the ground out the squad to starting and expect.
He's been playing games, but it's not like he's been sat at home on a Sunday morning eating Watsits and drinking Ribena and all this different things.
Exactly what I mean about
games.
This is exactly what I mean about elevating a player above their
Well, no,
standard.
you lot have done that. You lot have done that. I've been saying he's not ready.
Yeah, no, he's not ready. I expect a better performance today because he's had a game, but his mind must be everywhere. He's like, hang on a minute. Firstly, I can't even. There's no point in even me turning up for work today to get dressed because I'm not in the squad. To bang, I'm starting from 1 week to the next.
No.
That's a head trick.
Disagree.
You know?
That's difficult for mindset. I agree.
Disagree. If you are in a squad, and you're not in that team, you have to be of the mindset that when my chance comes, I'm going to wrestle it and I'm not going to let it go, because too many times squad players have that issue, and that's when they come in the team, come out of the team. Like Hughes, for example, he's not quite come in and made it his own, so he's not in the team anymore. Dobbs not going to be given this opportunity forever unless he starts.
You're right.
delivering.
I think Paul Lambert was I think he was not pushed into it, because I thought it was something no one. He wasn't pushed into it, but I think he said, well, okay, with so many players injured, that let's at least see what happens. So I think Dobra's probably got this game, maybe one more. So it better be a good one for him. I hope it is.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to see him foul. I don't want to see anybody in a blue shirt or anybody in Ipswich Town team to foul. I've just had so many arguments with me saying I don't think he's ready. People saying, oh, he is, slamming their fists down on the table. He's not starting. Blah blah blah. Okay, well he's starting now, so let's see something that you can say. See, I told you. Google user agrees with me. He also says professional footballers need to be when called on. That's a good point. Mike Davey, good to see Bennett's in his best position on the bench. Right, 2 minutes to kick off. It is bold predictions time. So get your score predictions and goal scorers in the chat. We're back at half time, don't forget. Matt, we'll kick off with you. What is your bold prediction for today's game?
I haven't got any bold predictions. I thought we'd lose at Oxford and get a draw here. But it's interesting that Plymouth got absolutely annihilated by Rochdale at home in the week, 4-0. They were 3-0 down half time, had a triple sub.
Let's go.
So that's the only game they've lost at home in the league since New Year's Day. So they're obviously pretty strong at home, Park. But I think if we can come away with a point, good. I still don't think we're going to have the goal threat or just the momentum to go on and win. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, Ben, let's go.
3-0, Lancaster hat-trick. Boom.
Hey.
Oh, I love it. Right. I love that. We're back at half time. Join us then with Love With Care. Come on, you Blues.